Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Excerpts from Experts. This is another edition that we have bought, and as you know, that we have been evolving over and over with unlimited number of people who have joined with us. And so far, the way we have progressed is we have touched the early education, we have touched the school education, we have spoken to a couple of principals, we have spoken to educators, we have spoken to the deans of the universities, we have spoken to some of the professors like who were the pro vice chancellor, and there are educators, there are trainers to whom we spoke. And this week we are going little more intense. That means we are bringing the speakers for you who are eminent personalities known in both academics, political, as well as on the nation thing, because they are most renowned and eminent speaker. And today we have Dr. Hari Krishna Maram with us, who is one of the digital ambassador in the digital thing. 1 minute, let me open the complete profile of him. So Dr. Hari Krishna Maram is one of the veteran in the industry with 24 years of experience in education and academics. He is the digital brand ambassador and chairman for the Digital India campaign that is running. He is also the vice chancellor for the Global Digital University USA. He is, as I've said, he has having 24 years of experience. He served as vice president AIMS, that is Association of Indian Management Schools. He was the governing council member of IMA, or All India Management Association. Also, he was the additional honorable secretary for the Bangalore Management Association. He has been a part of Education Promotion Society of India. His involvement in so many groups and so many bodies shows that he is having vast experience in the academics as well as in the field of academics. And the most recent award that he has received is from the UK Parliament for his digital, drive that he is doing, and that is Knighthood Award. Without delaying much, I would like to welcome Dr. Hare Krishna Maram with us to ensure that we are getting the right inputs on the national education policy. His inputs are very well recorded by the most of the renowned media. So, Hare Krishna Maramji, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Okay.
It is my privilege and pleasure to be part of this wonderful discussion headed by Sunanda Rao and National Career Council Network. And definitely it's going to be a wonderful session with the more interactions talking about the most talking area of interest, the national education policy. So welcome to all the educators and people who are interested in the field of education. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. This video is going live on YouTube, and most of the educator, most of the school bodies would be actually watching it out, as they have also spoken their views, and they will also be a part of the education conclave which we are doing on 5th of September, which I was speaking to you a while ago. Before we go directly into the questions of the national education policy, I have seen your article in Education Times and many of the time, media thing. I would like to have your first and foremost reaction on national education policy from the perspective of a vice chancellor of Global Digital University and being a part of so many academic bodies. So, what is your first and foremost reactions?
Yeah. So first of all, digital greetings from Vision Digital India. So this national education policy, which is announced a couple of days back, is a policy which a gap of 34 years in India, where we have a largest education system in the country with more than 350 million students from the primary education to higher education, which consists of more than 1,000 plus universities, 49,000 colleges, 9,50,000 schools. So our education system is something like you can count as the entire US population, which is closely around 34 crores, where our student population in India itself is closely 35 crores, which is much above than the American population. So I think this is a great welcome move for each Indian because we call India as the demographic dividend country, where we have a largest young population unlike any country in this world. So I think it is very relevant for the growth of our country, where we are projecting a very high growth of reaching in the next 5 years time a 5 trillion economy. So this kind of education policy will definitely enhance, help the way the education in this country.
Thank you so much, Dr. Harikrishna, for setting up the context of the national education policy and giving a very, robust kind of vision that you have mentioned. Now, as we are proceeding towards the Q&A session, the first question is our system strong enough to implement the new education policy? There are so many debates which have, started from the day the policy has rolled out, that is on 29th of July, and we are seeing every media, every nick and corner is covering whether we are strong enough. There are debates going on the mother tongue. There are debates going on that how 10 plus 2 will be replaced by the 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4. So here, the first thing, since you are a person who has been a part with these educational bodies and you have been very close to Mr. Pokhriyal as well as with the Kasturi Ranganji, so we would like to know, first of all, your views, is our system is strong enough to implement the national education policy?
I think Sunandaji, it's a wonderful question. I think in the last I think 9 years total, we seen four educational ministers, that is MHRD ministers. So now the ministry is called a new term now. So after I think I can say three MHRD ministers, they did a great job with a wonderful vision, a clear cut picture to bring a new education policy in our country. And this is again headed by none other than a very eminent scientist, Dr. Kasturi Rangan, and a wonderful team of people. And they've done a great work in the last 4 to 5 years of meeting largest number of educators in the country, meeting them, taking their suggestions. So this policy, I think, it's definitely a kind of a policy which gives a very clear roadmap for a country like India. The reason is the name India itself is a brand for education from, I can say, from a generations. Because when you go back few thousands of years back, you have a universities called Takshashila, you have universities called Nalanda. So these all universities, I'm talking during that time, there is no transportation, there is no flights available, there is no proper roads, there is no proper connectivity between one country to other country. But still people used to walk for thousands of kilometers and couple of months to reach this Nalanda and Takshashila from more than 30 plus countries to study in India, because these universities are the landmark for education. So that kind of a legacy India is having. And but in the last 75 to 80 years uh, after independence, I think recently we celebrated the 74th independence of India. So in the last 150 years, if you see, the education system in the country is mainly influenced by the United Kingdom education system, because they are the people who ruled us from a long years. So we were more focusing on our education, which is brought from the United Kingdom. So we are not changed much from that time. So only 2-3 times after independence, we had changes in the education policy. Still, we use the same kind of a books, even though we have 1,000 plus universities, but still not many universities changed the syllabus. But today, when we are talking about the technology, when we are talking about advancement in the world, today the digital technology, today the kind of technology shift which is happening across the world, we are unable to match and we are unable to cope up these challenges and this kind of a fast growth. That is the reason today when you look at the economy, global economy of $100 trillion, still India is just about to touch 3 trillion. And today we are talking a company, the number one company in this world, the Apple, just a couple of days back, it touched 2 trillion market capitalization. One single company, Apple, which just manufacture mobile phones and the laptops and iPads and these kind of a stuff, they're able to become equivalent to our economy. So where our education system, we are going wrong. So just imagine, I think just completed 5 months of lockdown in India. We entered one day on the sixth month. So I think across the world today, we see closely 26 million people are suffered with COVID. And in India, we are just about to touch the 30 lakh cases in the country. So this pandemic actually, mainly in education system, given a lot of lessons, a lot of kind of a eye opener to the entire world, not only the India, because 1.5 billion people in the world are unable to attend the classes. That is the face-to-face classes in the classroom, in university or in colleges or in the schools. Same in India, closely 35 crore people unable to attend the classes. So we have so much largest education system, but when it comes to the technology, not even a 5% of institutions in the country are ready to deliver the online classes when the pandemic, the COVID impact started, when the lockdown is started in the month of March. So today the situation is still little improved. Today, I think maybe a 40 to 45% of the institutions are capable or adopted technology in part of the university day-to-day operations. That's how they are able to engage the students in the campuses. So what I'm trying to say is most of Indian campuses are concentrated on developing infrastructure, not on technology, not on knowledge. So they invested 95% of their money on acquiring land and construction, not internal, the knowledge, capacity building, or technology building. So that's how today we are facing largest difficulties compared than the global universities, the top 100 universities of the world. When you look at the Harvard, when you look at MIT, when you look at Stanford, when you look at Oxford, Cambridge, Wharton, these all universities, even with the existence of the oldest university in the official university in the world is Oxford University, which is having more than 1,000 years of existence. So the income which they generate, these all universities which I referred from admissions is less than 30 to 35%. Where in India, our dependency on admissions is more than 90%. So we don't have a universities which does research. We don't have a universities which focus on consulting. We don't have a universities which focus on publications. So the education system, what we are talking, the NEP, will address all these parameters where we can able to adopt, where we can able to implement the skills in students from primary level, where we can able to meet the challenges of the global upcoming scenario where there is a so much technology advancement is happening. So that's how this national education policy is a paradigm shift, I can say, in a new beginning of India, the new world of India.
Well, thank you so much, Doctor. Because right now, what question that was popping up when you were saying that we are first universities to be there in India, and people have actually come from various places. I belong to Kendra Vidyalaya, and our Kendra Vidyalaya song says, Takshila and Nalanda ka itihas lौट कर आएगा. So with this, I would like to ask you one more question. That will with this reformation, will India be the knowledge society? Because as you rightly said, today all the educators, if you see any of the corporate bodies or anyone, if they're investing their money in the infrastructure, as you rightly said, they would like to have the world class infrastructure, AC rooms, green monitors, then you have the smart class thing, education technology. We all talk about edtech, but where is the education going? No one is having any surety on that. Also, when the almost immediately when the COVID was announced, that lockdown was announced, most of the school they haven't even started their online classes because teachers were not well equipped with that. Obviously, it came like, okay, on 22nd you have to ensure that you are lighting the lights or you're putting the bell on the thali and everything, something that has to be done. And immediately after that, we have got the lockdown until 31st. Then it got extended in the various things. So with this new information, new education policy, are we going to build a knowledge?
Yeah. So I think when you call the knowledge and capacity building in the country, so today, if you look at the top 10 companies of the world, uh, 10 years back, the top 10 companies, the top 10 companies of the world today, there is so much, development, so much change in the scenario of the industries itself. So exactly 10 years back in 2010, if you look at the the Forbes or the Fortune, the list, the Forbes richest people are the Fortune 500 companies. In the Fortune 500 companies, the top 10 companies typically used to be the Pepsi, Coca-Cola, companies like Glaxo, companies like Pfizer, companies like Unilever. These are the companies. So today, if you look at the Fortune magazine 2020 edition, the top 10 companies of the world is not these companies which are listed 2010. The companies today is the Apple, the Microsoft, IBM, Amazon, Facebook. So these all the Tesla, these are the companies which occupied in the top position. So this indicates that there is a total shift in the industry itself is happening across the world. So this shift is towards the technology. So in our education system mainly, because typically in the last 40, 50 years, the education system we are following in majority of the universities is still the same traditional education system. When you talk about the management, still we talk about marketing, finance, HR. So these streams, still we are not changed into the technology. So today technology is the future. Today, even this pandemic, today there is a complete lockdown across the world, and 80% of the companies are in a kind of a situation where they are unable to progress, and companies are degrowing. The total economy itself is degrowing. The startups are in the verge of closing, but still, if you look at the technology companies, they are doing extremely well. So the finest example in the world, if you talk, in the last 5 to 6 months, the companies which shown more than 25 to 30% growth are companies like Amazon, companies like Apple, companies like Facebook, companies like Google. So these are the companies which able to give a strong performance. And you might have read the Amazon founder Jeff Bezos, in a single day, his market capitalization he increased $14 billion. So I'm talking about 14 billion is something like the entire our education system. So the one person individual is able to increase his market capitalization in a single day through the increase of Amazon share price in the market. So the same way, in last 2 months, if you look at one of the Indian company called Geo, they are able to get more than $16 billion investment into one single company. And this company become $100 billion company in just a few years of existence. It's not a quite old company like a Tata Group or a Birla Group. So this company is just 4 to 5 years of existence, and this company has become the most valuable company of the country and most valuable country of the world, company of the world. So this is simple. The reason is they develop the knowledge and technology in the company, and that is the reason today this company is valued very high. So the same way, if we can bring the skills, the technology skills into our education system, and that can build the global leaders, which today we are enjoying. So today, if you talk about the American economy, which is the largest economy in the world, with a less than 34 crore people. So if you look at this economy of $20 trillion of US, in that 15% contribution comes from none other than the Indians who are living in US, the doctors, the computer engineers, the professors, so other professionals who are working in US. They left India, and their primary education happened in India, and they went to US to do their MS or MBA, and they are now become a very successful people. So if you talk about the Sundar Pichai of Google, if you talk about Satya Nadella of Microsoft, if you talk about the Vijay Krishna of IBM, if you talk about Santanu of Adobe, so these all people studied from India, lived in India, and today they have become a global leaders. The reason is the knowledge system which the American universities are adopted in their education system, which brought America as superpower, which brought America as one of the top country in the economy. So the same thing, the new education policy is trying to bring in the Indian education system. The reason is 60% of our 1.35 billion people who are living in India, 60% are below 35 age. And these are the people who are going to enter in colleges, and these are the people who are already in colleges. So we need to address these people. So our economy, where we are talking about 2.8 trillion, is going to reach 5 trillion in the next 5 years, will be possible if we build the knowledge capacity in universities and colleges and schools. Then only the things will be possible.
Well, when you said that, obviously the US system of education is far more advanced. That's the reason why people go there, they get settled, they are absorbed by the local companies. Very ironical, though it's a proud that our people are heading those organizations. At the same time, it's very ironical that Indian education system, though being ancient, but was not able to retain such people to their countries wherein they could be one of the CEO or the leadership in the leadership position. Vis-a-vis to what Mukesh Ambani has created a complete empire, knowing what exactly he has been doing. And as you rightly said, Geo is one of the emerging things. Not only though that, even the people who are in the edtech field have actually progressed during the lockdown. You think about Byju's, you think about Intap, all these companies who have actually outreached to a greater level, because that was a golden opportunity that has come. During the lockdown, Paytm has grown up because it was the only platform which was there for digital transfer. So somehow it is giving an indication that digitalization is utmost important as compared to the infrastructure or anything, and people should invest in their digitalization, wherein they are getting digital, or there are companies which are adopting to that. With this, I would like to come to the last question. When you have seen that, yes, you have already given a perspective what overseas universities are doing, what are Indian universities, what is the ancient Indian university is doing. Where do you see that? What are the emerging challenges in the implementation of national, new education policy 2020? If you can share something about it.
Yeah. So the policy is wonderful, but if you look at the roadmap, because this policy is looking at next 15 years term. So if we are the plan which we are able to reach the gross enrollment ratio and reaching the large number of our student base. Uh, so this will be a kind of a very challenging task, I can say, because currently we have 1,000 plus universities. So we are talking about reaching these 1,000 universities into 2,000 plus universities in the next 15 years. So that means every week we have to add one university in the next 15 years. So that is going to be a very challenging task for a country like India if we are again focusing on um, the campuses which are physical. So what is required is, in fact, we are also giving a lot of suggestions to the education ministry and also the committee of national education policy that India should adopt universities like digital universities, which are primarily existing in the world today. So if you talk about the experience of digital universities today, some of the organizations like Coursera, the Khan Academy, the companies which you referred just now, the Baiju, uh, the Yuna Academy. So these all the edX, the platforms. These platforms are quite young. If you talk about the Coursera, which is just 6 year old, and today if you look at the number of students which they enrolled in Coursera is much bigger than the total number of students which are studied from University of Oxford, which is 1,000 years old. That means I'm talking one company, the Coursera, which is having a kind of a small office which less than 100 people are able to reach millions of students. So India should able to adopt that kind of a technology universities and skill universities than focusing more on the traditional universities which largely we have today. And setting up a digital university and skilled university, you don't require a huge funding, huge money, huge infrastructure. What you require is a knowledge, the capacity building, what is required. So that is a one challenge. The second challenge is adding the teaching community to the system. Because today, when you are talking about uh, one faculty is to 10 students in the range of one faculty addressing 20 students in the range of 10 to 20. So you need to double uh, the faculty which today what we have in the next 5 years. That means in the next 10 to 15 years, we have to increase our teaching community 4 times. So is it possible? So is it viable? Because today, when you look at the teaching jobs, not many people take this as a first preference. So this they take as a second preference. If they don't get a job in a good corporate career, they don't get a job in
Yeah,
government
but
sector. So they prefer to
yeah, I
come.
would like to add.
Yeah, yes, madam.
Yeah, I would like to add here. You said it is a second preference. To be very honest, we do career mentoring to many of the
I'm
students,
talking I'm talking
and
about majority, not all,
yeah,
majority.
majority. Yeah,
Yes,
if students or the parents, they never want their student, their kids to come into the teaching line. They say, first choice, evergreen choice is that they have to become engineer. If not engineer, then doctor. If not doctor, then CS, lawyer, or IAS officer. If something else is not done, kuch nahi karega, then teaching will come. And
yes.
why do we expect teachers to be, this is the most ironical part, when we don't want our kids to go as a teaching line, or we ourselves are not going to be on the teaching line, why should we blame any of the education body that comes to it? Yes, sir. I'm so sorry I interrupted, but
Yeah,
this
I
was
think,
something which was required as
madam,
well.
you brought a very valid point. So again, when I am giving a references of American education system, there after the doctors, after the engineers, the highest paid people are the teachers. So today, why large number of our Indian professors are working in Harvard, Kellogg's, Wharton, MIT. Reason is they paid so much, which is 15 to 20 times higher than what they get in India. That is the reason they gone to US, settled there, they upskilled, and they entered into the field of education. So in the national education policy, there is a wide a kind of spectrum of things talking about increasing the number of teaching community, adding to the Indian education system, but not much. We were talking about increase of the salary of the people and how you can able to get a new talented people coming into this field. Those points are missing in the policy. So in fact, we given a few suggestions, few white papers on the same to include this as a major area, even though today we brought the new pay scales, the new committees, but still the kind of salaries the education community is getting much lower than the advanced countries like the US, the Europe, or Germany, or you call even including a Singapore, a small country like a Singapore. Our salaries are much lesser than what people are getting in Singapore. So I think there is a need of kind of incentives required to attract a new talented pool to the teaching community, to add a large number of people in this stream, because the expected number of teachers in the next 10 years is closely around 14 to 15 million people. So how to get this many numbers is going to be a very challenging kind of a task for us. The third thing what I can see is the new education policy talking about the 6% GDP allocated towards the education. Today, currently, we are less than 2%. So with this kind of a pandemic kind of a scenario, and where the India is now having a lot of challenges in the next coming years to come back to the normalcy. So allocating 6% budget will be a great challenging task unless until we reduce our expenses in defense, those areas. So still again, today, not only these kind of a COVID situation, today we are also having problems in the border where we are getting a continuous threats from China, and Pakistan is always there. So in this kind of a situation, how we can able to reduce the allocation budget to defense and give to education is again a challenging task for everyone. So the fourth one, what I see is reaching the entire India will be a greatest challenge. Today, even when we are talking about the lockdown online classes, 35 to 40% of our student population unable to access internet till today. So we keep seeing a lot of articles about somebody sold their how to buy a mobile phone, and you keep seeing some articles like the parents build a small tent on the top of the hill because in their village there is no connectivity, and we are talking and seeing the pictures of some girls in Kerala climbing their house and sitting in the top to access the net. So today, when we are talking about the 5G technology, we are talking about the internet revolution, digital transformation, till 35% of our people are unable to access the net in a small rural places. So we have to address these all challenges. And I think government is bringing initiative like Swayam Prabha, Diksha, these all platforms, but still we are unable to reach to large number of people. So these are the major challenges what I see to implement or to go in a smooth way the new education policy to get access to large number of people. Even when we are talking about providing a digital skills to people, then how you address providing a digital skills without proper gadgets and proper technology, proper internet connectivity. So I feel if we can able to address these challenges of investing our efforts and knowledge into these areas, I think in a coming years we can able to implement the new education policy in a smoother way and able to get a fruits what we are expecting.
Very well said, sir. Your input and especially the way that you have mentioned what are the four important challenges. That was really an insightful thing. And today only I was reading that Mr. Pokhriyal has opened a window from 24th to 31st of August from the educators and various people, wherein people can actually listen this video or wherever this video would be published.
Yeah, yeah. I think you can unmute me. Yeah,
Yeah, 1 second, I think. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. So, what we can do is, as a educator, as a people who are the career counselor, or you as a person who is running this digital, vision, digital India. So, in case if together we all can come forward and give our suggestion, as well as we can be the part of the implementation body, I'm sure that the implementation would not be very hard. And yes, as you rightly said, we need 15 million people as a teaching faculty, and there has to be an incentivization for the teachers so that this profession get attraction rather than people going outside and selling their knowledge and the skills. This is something which is important. And digital universities and the skill universities, those are still a very major thing. Today we have only one skill university, Vishwakarma University. There is no other university which has come. Delhi has already laid the thing. So I'm sure together we all of us can manage and do certain things which can help us to understand. Any parting comments, would you like to give?
yeah. I just want to give our Vision Digital India story now here to all the audience. So we are talking about the digital education, digital revolution, digital transformation, online education from last decade to all the educators in the country. But still, people were looking us at, still it's a new thing. So in the last 5 months during this lockdown, uh, we are able to grow 3 times than what we were earlier. That means what I am talking is in the 5 months with the same existing faculty, with the same existing team, without moving anywhere, sitting from a home, we are able to reach large number of students, and we are happy that we touched 1 lakh students transformation, offering providing skill-oriented programs, mainly the technology skills, something like analytics, something like digital marketing, something like data science, cloud computing, 3D technology, robotics, Python, R, AI, augmented reality, virtual reality. These are the programs we are able to deliver to large number of students collaborating with universities and colleges. So if a small organization like us, if we can able to transform like this, so just imagine the Baiju, a small company which is less than 7 to 8 year existence, able to become the most valuable company of the world with a 10 billion market capitalization. Why not? Indian universities, Indian colleges, Indian enterprises can able to become much bigger in the world.
How can people enroll to your courses? If you can share an insight about it, maybe with this platform, people can actually come out more and reach out to you people.
So, what exactly we are doing, unlike the traditional the skill programs today, you have a large number of platforms. But the specialty of us is we done an extensive research, going around in the world, talking to large number of universities, professors, stakeholders like students and parents. What we realized is just offering a program, just giving a small certification is not going to solve the problem of unemployment, is not able to solve the problem what today is prevailed. So what we done is we collaborated with some of the best companies of the world, like IBM, like Google, like Microsoft, like Amazon Web Services. These are the top companies of the world, and they recruit large number of students from campuses, from universities and colleges. So we asked them, what are the skills you are looking from students? Because now you are not ready to invest on training the students when you recruit. So we will do your work. So what kind of a skills required? So each company, for example, IBM said, we require a large number of analytics professionals. Google said, we need more the digital marketing expertise. And Amazon said, we need more of e-commerce and data science students. So we collaborated with all these companies and we said, why don't you only give a syllabus? What exactly you need and what kind of students you require? So we taken a syllabus from them, we collaborated with them, the certification is given by them. So now how they can able to reject now when the student comes to them for a placement, because they are trained as per their syllabus and they got a certificate from them. So now they cannot blame the universities telling yours is a old syllabus and you are not taught a latest advanced skills. So this is the new thing what we developed, and all our certification comes from corporate with the most economical cost. So any program, whatever I told now, these programs are offered at less than $100. The complete program with the IBM, the Amazon, the Google certification, material, hands-on experience, placement support, all these kind of things are bundled, and a lifetime learning is given to these students. Not only one program. If they enroll one program and they feel they want to advance one more program, that is given at a free of cost. So these all things we bundled, and we were trying to give the knowledge and provide the skills, completely the digital skills to the youth. And our goal is in the next 4 to 5 years, we want to touch 1 million students in India, where they can transform the global growth of this world, and they can contribute to the global economy as well as reach India goal of 5 trillion by 2025. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So this was Dr. Hare Krishna Maram, who is having a vision to ensure that 1 million students are turning into the Digital India campaign, and they are digitally literate so that they can be employed by the top companies. So thank you so much, Mr. Hare Krishna, because the kind of inputs that you have given, especially from the digital point of views, and how your company is actually helping the students to ensure that they are getting the job with the kind of certification. So we will introduce your, the website, the URL, how people can enroll through this video link to all the people, so that anyone who would like to go and do the digital literacy program can actually reach out to the website, enroll themselves, and get employed with the number of people.
Sure.
With this, we sign off and for this Except for Excerpt series. And of course, this is already live on YouTube. Anyone can watch it. However, everything would be put on the social media. Thank you so much, Dr. Maram, for being with us.
Pleasure.
And let me, 1 minute. Let me, okay. So I'm signing off right now.
Thank you. Thank you, and looking forward interacting in